Here's the report. Meghan Markle is very business about royal rift as Prince Harry is left out of the details in England. A source says that Meghan is focused on the future while Harry has one foot in the past.
Look who's back in the media spotlight. Meghan Markle, gracing People magazine with yet another carefully curated ode to joy, community, and the art of saying a whole lot while leaving out just one teeny tiny detail. Harry. Yes, that Harry. Funny, isn't it? How the Duke seems to have vanished from her narrative like an out-of-fashion handbag. This wasn't just another breezy avocado toast in Montecito feature. No, this had the unmistakable aroma of a soft launch. Or maybe a solo rebrand. Depends on your level of royal tea tolerance. What we got instead was a PR performance so finely tuned, it could have been choreographed by a media consultant with a PhD in strategic ambiguity. Meghan strolled right back into the glossy embrace of People, her go-to haven for warm lighting, softer focus, and stories that glide just above the mess. But beneath that polished exterior was a distinct tonal shift. Less fairy tale, more strategic emancipation. Not a whisper about Harry's fiery locks or their joint Netflix hustle. Nope. It was all Meghan, all vibes, all subtly sharpened subtext, leaving royal watchers clutching their pearls and raising their brows in synchronized disbelief. Meghan didn't just give an interview, she served a passive-aggressive masterstroke wrapped in soft pastels and filtered through a glow that screams, enlightened goddess energy. Gone was the duo dynamic. Instead, she unveiled her new persona, the spiritually awakened, career-savvy phoenix rising from the ashes of royal dysfunction. And Harry? Well, bless his ginger heart. He was quietly repositioned as the emotionally stunted sidekick, still clutching his trauma blanket while Meghan gracefully floats toward her next TED Talk on self-empowerment. The unspoken message practically lit up in neon. If this whole marriage thing goes up in flames, don't you dare pin it on me. I journaled, I yogaed, I tried. Let's drop the illusion that this was some off-the-cuff chat or a little harmless PR fluff. Please, this was a perfectly timed, precision-engineered media maneuver disguised as a feel-good piece. People magazine doesn't just stumble upon these soulful revelations. You have to call them, darling. Probably twice, with mood boards. Every word was curated, every quote sanded down and buffed to a high-gloss sheen. And yes, it was absolutely weaponized. The whole thing oozed the energy of early 2000s celebrity breakup foreplay, Brangelina style, where quotes weren't just quotes, they were loaded grenades lobbed across glossy covers. But Meghan, she's not bothering with the volley. She's gone full monologue, center stage, spotlight on, and the subtext might as well have been printed in bold. I'm flourishing. He's dead weight. The audacity? Let's talk about that. While most celebrity couples, even the ever-savvy Beckhams, manage to keep their internal dramas behind the curtain, or at least run them through joint damage control, Meghan's out here torching the old rulebook with a scented candle and a smirk. Forget waiting for Harry to finish his years-long therapy arc about royal trauma. She's already manifesting her next phase, whether that's as a media mogul, wellness oracle, or, who knows, a presidential hopeful with a vision board and a crystal grid. Let's not kid ourselves. This wasn't a puff piece, it was a controlled explosion. A glossy, pastel-colored detonation with high production value and not-so-hidden intent. Meghan didn't just give an interview, she initiated an image overhaul so precise, it could only be described as a solo soft launch disguised as lifestyle fluff. Power couple? Please. This read more like the prologue to a very public and painfully curated uncoupling. Grab your popcorn and strap in. This isn't a rom-com, it's an HBO limited series in the making. And if People magazine was aiming for subtle, well, they missed the mark with the grace of a reality show wine toss. The portrait they painted wasn't love-soaked or partnership-forward. It was Meghan, front and center, serene and shimmering in her Montecito glow. Picture her now, sipping hand-harvested organic tea, journaling intentions under a supermoon, rearranging her ethically sourced crystals for optimal karmic resonance. The message? She's ascending, he's stagnating, and the Montecito Manifesto is only just getting started. Enter St. Meghan of Santa Barbara, the visionary, the grounded oracle of mindfulness, the spiritual CEO of their sun-drenched American Rebrand. She's radiating purpose and calm, building empires between cacao ceremonies and guided meditations. And Harry? Poor Harry is cast as the emotional barnacle still clinging to the rotting hull of the monarchy, pacing invisible palace halls like a ghost with a grudge, stuck in an endless royal rerun where the crown never calls back. This wasn't just your garden variety PR fluff, it was a narrative pivot so sharp it could fillet a diamond. The article didn't just reframe Meghan, it canonized her. She's all sage wisdom and wellness rituals, while Harry is portrayed as the emotionally constipated sidekick, still nostalgically fixated on a family that ghosted him harder than a hinge match post-date. You can practically hear Meghan's silent sighs between the lines. No direct quotes, of course, just enough elegant phrasing to let the subtext scream. And then came that line, the one that detonated TikTok and sent royal Twitter into DEFCON 1. Meghan hopes her husband could feel less burdened by the past and more present in the life they've built. Read it once, and it sounds sweet, like a loving nudge. Read it again, and it's a wellness-branded red flag, tucked gently inside a PR gift bag with lavender-scented tissue and a smudge stick. Let's not forget who we're dealing with here. This is the same couple that turned Oprah's backyard into a televised deposition, the same duo who sold us a fairy tale of chicken coops, Netflix deals, and liberation from royal shackles. But now it feels like someone's editing the script and removing the co-star. So, if Meghan is now publicly, and oh so gently, wishing that Harry would just snap out of it, what does that say about their so-called picture-perfect escape plan? You know, the glossy freedom flight they sold us with drone shots of chickens and pastel-tinted promises of healing? Suddenly, the brilliance, or perhaps the cold-blooded precision, of it all comes into sharper focus. Meghan, true to form, doesn't toss shade directly. Oh no, she lets the quote do the dirty work. It's soft power wielded like a scalpel, a whisper so perfectly pitched it echoes like a scream. To fully grasp the storm Harry's now slogging through, you have to rewind to spare. His literary Molotov cocktail lobbed straight over Buckingham's iron gates. That memoir wasn't a tell-all, it was a burn-it-all. Therapy in hardcover, trauma with a dust jacket. He didn't spill the tea. He unscrewed the kettle, dumped it into the moat, and then lit the drawbridge on fire. It was raw, emotional, and cathartic. And it left him emotionally naked on the world stage. Now, just over a year later, the emotional aftermath is becoming crystal clear. While Meghan is airbrushing the next act of her personal evolution, Harry is still wading through the fallout, like a man who thought the exit sign led to peace, not purgatory. Harry really did the most, didn't he? In Spare, he painted King Charles as emotionally MIA, William as a rage-prone sibling with jealousy issues and a mean right hook, and Camilla as the Machiavellian stepmother who'd gladly toss family secrets to the press in exchange for a flattering headline. If the royal family ever resembled a fairy tale, Harry didn't just close the book. He doused it in lighter fluid, set it ablaze, and then cheerfully hit the talk show circuit with the smoldering remains. And now he's shocked that he's been booted from the royal group chat. Upset they didn't loop him in about King Charles's cancer diagnosis, the man publicly torched every branch of his family tree and is confused he's not being CC'd on palace memos. It's giving, why didn't they invite me to the wedding after I told the bride she had bad vibes? Actions have consequences, dear Duke. When you throw your entire family under the double-decker bus, don't be surprised when you're not invited to the garden party or the hospital visit. From the cheap seats, it looks like she's already moved on, and maybe even leveled up. While Harry's out here emotionally detangling royal tripwires and revisiting every traumatic flashback on a rotating PR cycle, Meghan's waist-deep in lifestyle brand launches, Hollywood reconnections, and crystal-charged rebranding. She's not stuck in the past, she's redesigning her future. And if Harry can't keep pace, well, it seems she's perfectly fine glowing solo in her coastal Californian era. What do you think of this drama? Let us know in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe Celebrity Insider News and press the bell icon for more celebrity gossips. Thanks for watching.